what I sent you that apprenticeship thing for is it went from 1940 to 1980, 40 years. I don't know why they ever closed it down. They produced some of the best tradesmen in Australia, and after they'd done their time, they all got out and went to work in Civvy Street. Yeah, most of them ended up as managers of Christ knows what. Yeah.
Tell me.
But they were a great mob.
Can you tell me your? Can you tell me your history? Can you tell me your history again, like from the start, like how you got into the army in the first place through signals? You know where you're working and. Can you tell me all that again?
My dad always was, I told you about Dad, he might have got a Guernsey for rugby league in Australia, and he was in First Armoured. They were the elite, they were hand-picked, and the transport company was the sportsman's company. And he had two good mates, Vic Patrick the boxer, and Norman von Nieder, or Norman von Nieder. I met him on the plane when we came down for Judy's wedding.
Yeah.
We were sitting next to this bloke, and he said, "Oh, professional golfer." I said, "Oh, Dad was in was in First Armoured Regiment with Norman von Nieder." And he said, "I am Norman von Nieder." How's that for a bloody coincidence? He said, "What was your dad's name?" I said, "Dad's name?" I said, "Ron Pepper." He said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "You know, the selectors were following him. He played for Cessnock." He said he was a bloody good wicket keeper too, so...
I didn't know he was good at cricket. Who's that?
I'll send you a photograph of the Uncle Dave. It's Uncle Dave and Dad's brother, and Dad in the Newcastle Public Cambridge West End Cricket Club. I think I might have sent you that, did I?
I don't.
Oh no, it was the one. It was the one of Auntie Mavis's wedding. That's right. With I think it was Kyle said. Kyle said, "There's my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather all in the one picture."
Kyle absolutely loves history. Like he loves learning about his history.
Anyway, after I sat the final exams in primary school, I was offered a place at Newcastle Boys High. It was a selective school.
Yeah.
And it changed Dad's attitude a bit. I think he always thought I was a bit of a dunce. Yeah.
Did he? Why would he think that? Because you were quiet?
I don't know. I suppose, I never said much. He never showed much affection, the old bloke. Yeah.
Only to the chooks.
Anyway.
He was a bit of a tormentor, wasn't he?
Eh?
He was a bit of a tormentor. Like he used to.
He got that from Grandma Pepper, old Annie Brazel.
Really?
She was a bugger. Yeah, she was the daughter of a. It was really strange, actually. We never ever found out where old Sam Brazel got the money from. He turned up out of nowhere in Bathurst, and he married the daughter that was when in the Goldfields, 1830s or so. He turned up out of nowhere and married the daughter of a storekeeper called, his last name was Hoscroft. And he'd come from America. He'd come from America, from the Goldfields in America. But instead of digging, he set up a shop. Now he'd woken up to himself. But the strange thing was, his daughter, listen to it?
Did the money come from the Goldfields, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the American Goldfields.
Yeah.
And he married Fuscroft's daughter, Amelia. That's the clock that I gave. That was a wedding present to them.
Yep.
The old bong bong clock.
Yep. Yeah, Amelia's got that now.
For Amelia.
Yeah.
Seemed only fair.
Same name.
And he took. The thing with her was, I saw at the Daguerreotype, Auntie Mavis was a bloody social climber and an old man, and as well as a fucking hypocrite and a fucking thief. They done it, Dad, and Grandma got £5,000 when her father died, when old Sam died.
Yeah.
Right? The two boys, the two eldest sons, divided the 20,000 acre bloody sheep station at Walker between the pair of them.
Yeah. They didn't give in.
Uncle Percy, the youngest fella, a horse breaker, got shot through the shoulder at the charge of Bathsheba.
Yeah.
So him, he never broke a horse again, yeah. So him and Auntie Eva, she married the station master at Werris Creek, and Grandma, Annie Brazel, she married old Arthur Pepper, coal miner, but his father had also built the Aberdare. He owned a coal mine in Tighes Hill. His brother, I can't think of the brother's name, Motto Farm in New South Wales, Newcastle, Raymond Terrace. Granddad's father came out from England and founded that farm. I think he started work. He certainly wasn't a convict or a ticket of leave man. He came out as a farm labourer and he ended up owning the big Motto Farm. It's still in the Pepper hands, I think, but not that branch, not our branch of the family.
Yeah.
That photo I sent of the other John Pepper, John Francis Pepper. Yeah? He's a cousin and he's on the Motto Farm side of the family. Yeah. So where the hell was I rambling?
Oh, because they got no money, Dad. She was a thief.
Oh yeah. Well, she cleaned them out. She cleaned out the bank accounts. Her husband was Jimmy Guy. I didn't mind Jim, but he was a Freemason and Grand Master and all this sort of shit. But it didn't stop him from. Grandma's solicitor was also a Freemason, and it didn't stop him from bloody dudding Uncle Dave and Dad out of their
That's terrible. That's terrible.
She left them £2,000 in a will, but the will couldn't be found. There was only another one that she'd written just before, while she was still. She was all right in the head, but she was forgetful, and there were miners' pensions, checks, and money all over the bloody house.
Oh wow!
They sold. She had a beautiful big bloody house on a corner block.
Yeah.
It's now the Morris brothers. They sold their little fibro place, and Mavis and Jim sold the little fibro place in an outer suburb, and Grandma's house was on a corner block, 2 blocks away from Hunter Street, the main street in Newcastle.
Oh wow!
And it had 4 bedrooms, 2 either side of the hallway from the front door into the kitchen dining room. It had a double bedroom, which Mavis and Jim, when I was there, shared. After they'd sold their house and we're going to look after Mum. It had another big double bedroom on the other side of the hall of the front door. It had a sleep out that ran off the veranda past and down the side of the house all the way down to the parlour with the piano.
Oh wow!
I'll digress again.
No.
Dad played the piano, and
Did
he won. I found a certificate that he'd won prizes at the Cessnock of Stedford, and he
Serious?
never mentioned a word of it, and he never touched the piano. Auntie Mavis played the piano.
He must have been very...
Uncle Dave played the violin, right?
Right.
And Grandma was eyeing me off. She sent me to elocution lessons to an old lady over the road for threepence a go, when I was about 4 years old. They taught me to read. I could read the Newcastle Morning Herald and Miners Advocate before I went to school, the kindergarten. I remember the teacher saying, "Can anyone read?" I said, "I can." She said, "Well, come out here and read this. What's it say? The cat sat on the mat." She said, "Oh, you're so smart. Can you read the paper?" I said, "Yes." I said, the Newcastle Morning Herald and Miners Advocate. She said, "Anyone could learn that." I said, "Well, what about there? It says, on Friday there's something or other of such and such. Australian forces took Bougainville." Off the Japs.
How old were you? How old were you at kindy then?
5.
5.
5.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So, anyway, where was I? I digressed again.
Did they try and get you to learn the piano?
Oh, that's right, yes. And Uncle Dave learned the violin. And I was to learn the violin, but Grandma couldn't find it.
Oh.
Uncle Dave came home on leave, and Grandma said to him, "Where did that bloody expensive violin I bought for you, David, where did it get to?" He said, I sold it to Denny O'Brien, the pawnbroker, last time I was home and got on the piss.
Oh,
So
no.
he saved my life.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. So the violin, hey? How do you reckon you would have went?
Oh, I don't think so, yeah.
No.
I can't dance. Somebody said to me once, "Can you dance?" I said, "Arthur Murray couldn't teach me to dance on the end of a fucking rope." The only thing was I seemed to encourage smart asses in the army. I don't know how many I threatened to throw in the slammer.
Yeah, well, you were telling me about that guy that got his comeuppance.
Hey, where's he coming? The boss sent him up to Newey, up the sharp end, probably in the hope that he'd get shot dead, but...
Is he still alive? What was his name?
He ended up a first-class warrant officer.
Yeah, you told me that.
And a great bloke, so I rang him up. He died a couple of years ago. I rang him up, and I said, "I railroaded you, rotten little bastard, don't you?" He said, "Yeah, I knew that, boss." So I said, "But it seems you've done good for yourself." He said, "You changed me." He said, I more or less patting myself on you. He said, "It was you that changed me." I said, "No, I had to throw you in the slammer 3 fucking times,
Oh, no, you must be talking about someone else. I'm talking about the fellow who wanted your job. The narcissist.
Oh,
that was
in New Guinea.
Yeah.
Ken Sanders.
The prick.
Well, not Terry Sturgis.
Oh.
When I was in England, Terry was a bastard. He was a hut corporal, the 9th intake. Of my hut when I was 11th intake. He was a radio mechanic. I suffered under that mongrel for a year in the apprentices school and 3 years in Papua New Guinea. He held me back for promotion all the time. He could go to Australia and play hockey with the army team, and I couldn't go and get the one subject I needed to be promoted to sergeant.
Prick.
So, and then to get away from him, Bobby Fellows, a mate of mine from the old 3rd Lines of Communication Regiment, had just got married and posted to New Guinea, but there were no married quarters. And Bob and I were old mates, so he got on the teleprinter in the crypto and told me his problem, and I said, look, I'll go and see Brigadier McDonald. He said he's a good bloke, yeah, and he comes and has morning tea with us in the crypto room because it was the only place that had air conditioning. Yeah? In fact, he said to me one time, he said, Sarge Pepper, he said, how did you get air conditioning in here? I said, because of the delicate nature of the new cryptographic equipment. He said, oh, is it that delicate? I said, no, it's not at all. No, I said, it'll operate from -3 degrees to 102. He said, you told a lie. I said, yes, I did. He said, didn't they find out? I said, the Commonwealth Department of Works bloke hasn't got a top secret security clearance. He can't look at the specs. Yeah? He said, oh, jolly well done. He used to come in, he used to drop in 2 or 3 times a week and sit down. He used to bring a packet of ice phobos with him, for morning tea. Yeah. Now I've gone off again. Oh, yeah. When I was in England, the thing for to apply to go with the course in England, the Formula Signals course, Terry Sturgis saw it and said, don't show it to John Pepper, to Bob Fellows. So Bob rang me up. I was out at Tarama at receivers, and Bob rang me up and he said, told me all about it. So I put in for it. When I turned up for the entrance exam in a room at the Papua New Guinea Volunteer Rifles Drill Hall, and Sturgis said, what are you doing here? Yeah? I said, I got mates, not like you mongrel. So, yeah. Look, when I was in England, he went back early. His missus was, I think she was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. So they flew her back, and we came back on the Australis, right? Yeah. You remember running around dressed like a bumblebee, chasing Judy around, done up like a daisy. Huh?
Nah.
I got paper.
On the boat.
I had a job on the Australis.